Welcome to Budapest, Hungary's capital, and the final block on this first day of competition at this year's Budapest Grand-Prix. Boasting a wealth of classic architecture as well as cultural, artistic and historic attractions, Budapest can rightly lay claim to being one of Europe's most beautiful cities. We're going to begin this afternoon's final block with the first of the bronze medal matches in the under 48 kilo category. That features Milica Nikolic of Serbia, and she's up against Maruša Stanger of Slovenia. It'll be Nikolic in the white judogi and Stanger in blue, and with commentary on this and all this afternoon's medal matches, it's a very warm welcome to former world champion Loretta Cusack-Doyle.
Good afternoon, and thanks very much. Well, as you can see in the statistics here, there is a head-to-head, and Stanger on that power run. She knows she has defeated her opponent once before, but can she do it for this bronze medal here? Well, when it comes to the world ranking, very little between them, and I think this is going to be a very interesting match. Both of these athletes have battled their way to this bronze medal position, but only one can take that prestigious award of bronze medalist.
Incredible up there, that shot.
Isn't it amazing? This is one thing I love about this stadium, is that it is it's athlete-centered. It's about presenting the judo, but presenting the athletes in the best possible way. And that entry coming in, how grand is it?
And a couple of the athletes that are sitting up there out of the medals, albeit in different weight categories. Odette Giuffrida was one of them, and Telma Montero was another one. And we're about to get underway. The referee in the middle for this one, Ramzi Shamirov of Tajikistan. Loretta.
Right. Well, we've got one medal to gain, two up for grabs, but one will take a medal from this match and a fifth place, the other athlete. Which one will it be? Well, Nikolic is the number one seed coming into this competition. 34 athletes participated in this weight. So on paper would be the stronger of the two, but like I said, Stanger has defeated Nikolic in previous event.
Nikolic would have to be the one most hard done by if she loses this, having been the number one seed, although she comes up with a technique that she scored with earlier on, just that sleeve, that little trap. Last time she managed to get a little bit, the body was turned slightly more to the right, and she catapulted her opponent
it was
over the
literally
shoulder.
Straight down. It looked like if she'd lost her balance, it would have been a head dive. She would have hit the head on the mat, but she actually had the flexibility of more or less doing like a forward roll. The head started to go between the legs. It was an amazing technique, wasn't it?
And then she didn't end up rolling. She just really threw her opponent over.
Yes,
it was beautifully executed.
It was beautifully done.
Didn't quite come off that time though. But she is on the board with Rosario. She looks good for 34.
No, 34. Nikolic, wasn't it? That's 34.
We were looking up some names, and we'd clicked on the wrong one, and we just thought for a moment that she was 34. But we had another look, and she looks just too young for that.
Too young.
Yeah. On second look, she was only 24. So.
It's not much of a difference. 10 years. What's 10 years in it? 10 years.
She's got a few years back now. Stanger trails with 2:20 odd left to go.
After the battles this young lady's had, she most probably will feel 10 years older tomorrow morning when she wakes up. But she's had a really good performance throughout the day, and like you say, it would be sad if she doesn't pick up this bronze medal for the journey that she's had throughout the day. She battles away, Stanger there, looking for an opportunity in the Niwas, and this is where she is very, very strong indeed. She works her way. She's trying to secure the Osakomi. Now, from here, she has stability. just needs a little bit of turn, but I would say that that's
You
also
could call it, because she hasn't trapped the legs, has she?
She
You
hasn't
can call
trapped
it, yeah?
You can call
And
it.
now we'll find out whether it is or not.
But yeah, she had stability there. And the more she moves, the more she rotates her into the ossicum to secure it even tighter. Well, look, she's looking for the shimmy-wazzer as well. Yeah. Well, that...
I think he did the right thing there.
Yes,
he had
I
a
did.
look, not sure, and then he thought, okay, Saikomi. And then she managed to hold her for enough to get a score on the board.
So that evens it up. A Wazaria piece now with 1.5 minutes remaining in this contest.
Little over a minute left to go. Penalty free.
Stepping across, continuing to drive through.
Stanger's got a nice defence. She really didn't look as though she was going to get caught there. And now she's straight back into the Newaza.
The Slovenians are so strong in the Newaza. It really is a forte.
Sometimes you get a feel of who it is that needs to make something happen. My feeling is that Nikolic needs to make something happen.
Yes.
Stanger's dangerous. You don't want this going for too long. She's going to find a way to come up with something. Try and get it over and done with. Put the pressure on.
Well, we've got half a minute remaining, and it's a Shido, it's a Wazaria piece, so they're very evenly matched at the moment. And every time Nikolic comes in for one attack, it's returned by an attack for the Slovenian Stanger.
See, she's unorthodox as well, you know. And
this is where she's got this wrap. Sorry, there
the
it's
turn,
really, really tight. It's a lovely little move here, and it's very effective. If she just can get those hips down a little bit deeper. Surprised that didn't work. Really surprised that didn't work.
Well, I was chatting to one of the referees during the break, and she was explaining to me the reasoning behind the mate or allowing an action to continue, and it's when the player flattens out completely. If there's no chance for the roll, then because they have to roll them over this, extended body, then they will call mate. And if they're on the knees, well, you can roll them in several different directions.
As soon as
so they will allow it. But when they flatten out, and she had difficulty in executing that turnover
because she was flat.
She was flattened out. It's a much,
yeah.
longer body, isn't it? You know, you haven't got one of this like a chair or table. You haven't got one of the legs to knock away. So it was a bit tricky. Still,
it's a very effective turnover. But Chigari, so close.
Yeah, I was saying she's a little bit unorthodox, and I don't mean to be, pick at Stanker or anything, but there's an attractive way that some fighters have when they go about their work, and I wouldn't say that Stanger's was the most, it's a little bit cadet-like almost.
Yeah, well, I think they're quite. It is quite a young team, the Slovenian team, and I'm not quite. We'll check on the age, but I would imagine she's not that old. She's still very young, and obviously that her judo reflects the age that she is.
Yeah, it still looks a bit youthful.
But considering her age, and her Atachi was definitely like that, but I think her Niwaza is very mature. She's got good awareness in Niwaza. She's very strong down there.
One of a pair of sisters. Almost caught her there with the turnover. There's a chance again.
And again this wrap, but this time it's not really weird. The arms look like they had crossed the chest at that stage.
She's start again from there.
Persevering with it.
Once she'd flattened out.
Yeah, and I suppose for safety, if the shoulders are square, they're flat, and you start to raise the leg, you're actually putting pressure on the spine and the shoulder in the wrong direction because you've got no corner tucked in as such.
Roll, yeah. Strong effort there from Nikolic. She's the one with the Shido against her.
She's a great coach.
Yeah, terrific.
Really
hard as nails, though.
Oh, she is, but she's got a soft touch to her as well.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, oh no, she is lovely.
We've had almost 2 minutes already of golden score. Here's the attempted turnover
Now
again.
this is the wrap again.
Yeah.
Now, this is effective because what it does. Oh, he could have let that go. How effective it is that when we're talking about flattening him out, by having this wrap around the waist, it raises the core, so that you're not flat. Your chest is not then on the ground and your shoulders are only flat. But yeah, well, she threatened it, but Nikolic obviously desperately disappointed.
Couldn't put her away.
No.
You know, Stanger was going to find a way of, opening up Nikolic in some way. The longer it went on, the more likely it was that Stanger was going to do that. And I've lost count of the number of times that Nikolic has, lost contests that she should have won.
Yeah.
And she came in here as the number 1 seed and has ended up with a 5th place. That is not where she want to be. Stanger is delighted. She come away with a bronze medal.
And that's 2 wins under her belt against Nikolic.
Yeah.
Now, some of the highlights of that match. Ouchigari. Well, it looked like she was going for the Uchimata, but she switched it to the Ouchigari. Nice change of direction, but it was that right arm that was hugging the shoulder and drawing her opponent towards her back.
We've got the second of the bronze medal contests coming up now, and Sophie Jura of Belgium faces Distra Kresnici of Kosovo. It's Jura in the white judogi, Kresnici in blue.
Well, as you can see, Kresnici down at the world ranking is 110, but that doesn't reflect the quality of athlete she is because she's changed weight categories. So obviously the points that she had in the previous weight that she used to compete at doesn't follow through into the new category. So that has no reflection at all on what the performance we're going to see here for this bronze medal battle.
I said earlier that this is the best that I've seen Kresnici at under 48 kilos. She really does look like a good competitor at this weight.
She looks comfortable, and it looks
strong.
like she looks very strong, but she looks like it's a natural weight for her. Doesn't look like she's actually struggled for this weight at all.
No one in the chair for Kresnici. I'll do it myself, she said.
Well, she's an experienced athlete, so very capable of doing it herself, and Jura has had a wonderful performance today. She's been really exceptional.
The referee in the middle for this one is from Hungary. He's Harasi Viktor. See how he handles a medal match in a Grand Prix.
Kresnici, as we've seen before, she likes to get that right hand high over on the collar. Kresnici, because it was the duck under, and it was from the Belgium who ducked under, so the penalty went on the wrong side.
Kresnici's face.
She looked at it as if to say,
"You
I
what?"
didn't, what? I never did that.
Shido against the Belgian. There's a threat there, isn't there, from Kresnici with the gripping and the movement.
She's very dangerous when she connects with that right hand and the high collar. Very, very dangerous indeed. But what you're seeing is a few of the athletes are able to tactically work from there, controlling that right sleeve, keeping it down, and then doing their judo. Now here you have a good example. She's come cross grip, she's pulled that arm in, and she's come round the back. And so obviously this young lady from Belgium has prepared herself for this particular match and the gripping style of Krasniqi. Krasniqi with her hand on the lapel, controlling from there as she tries desperately to throw that arm over the top. So the second Shido goes to Jura.
With too much time left on the clock to avoid picking up the third.
It's going to be very difficult, isn't it now? And the experience that Krasniqi has is going to make it even harder. There's again a drop, and it was to a real solid block, wasn't it?
It also forces Jura to do things that she wouldn't do because there's the pressure of the two Shidos and the time running out.
Oh, Krasniqi there using her feet to stumble her opponent down into the Newaza.
Looks comfortable, doesn't she?
She does. She's really not threatened at all here. Good strong attack there from Jura. Stepped right through, overstretched herself slightly and lost a bit of control there with the Osotogari, but Krasniqi there, as you can see, holding that sleeve control in there. Steps across for the Taitoshi, beautifully done. Thought that was a score. It was very close of a score, if anything.
Well, it's like we said earlier, if you had said Wazari, I'd have said, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's have a look.
Oh,
or maybe
no,
she was still sitting
land.
up.
Yes.
They're gonna have a look at it, though.
Yeah.
Now, this will have to do with how she avoided.
Yeah, if she
going
put
on
the
a vacuum,
hand, if she put the hand down, then it was a Wazari. But if it was just an overspin and she didn't plant her correctly, which is the error of Krasniqi, then it's not a score. Well, it was. It was the hand that went down to stop it and the spin from it. So she never landed on her back as such, but it was the hand that blocked it. And the timing really good there with 46 seconds remaining. It's going to make it very tough indeed for Jura to come back. But still plenty of time. She's gutsy enough and she's been on form today, so anything's possible.
She's really gained in experience. Distria Krasniqi looks a completely different fighter now. Really confident. She'll pick up a penalty here, though, I think. Oh, maybe they've seen something from Sophie Jura. That was worth having a look at. 12 seconds left to go. Krasniqi with the only score on the board. And guilty of breaking off the grip.
Jura takes the third and final Shido, which awards the win to Krasniqi and the bronze medal with it.
Well, she's had quite a day. She defeated Noah Minska first up, and then Katerina Costa, Paola Pareto, the current Olympic champion. She then lost out Endo Hiromi. She lost out to Endo Hiromi in the semi-final, just that single loss. And she bounced back in the bronze medal contest with that win. Single score. She feel a lot better about this now, medaling at 48 kilos.
You see that, yeah, the hand went down, it was the block, and then continue the rotation. Yeah. So good call.
Yes, on both. Went across
Yes.
one and then the other. Yeah. Didn't see that from our angle. You
She
give a little
punched
punch in the
Bit of
in
a
the
jab to the
ribs.
ribs.
Coming up next, the final. And this features Endo Hiromi. She's up against teammate Yamazaki Tamami of Japan. The two Japanese go head to head in the final of the under 48 kilo category.
Well, this is going to be a real battle for these athletes. Both obviously know each other very well, and be interesting to see. Endo, obviously, on paper, one of the strongest.
The referee in the middle for this one is Lubomir Peter of Australia. There's a temptation for the referees to nod their head to the music, isn't there? I've seen a few of them just getting
tapping
into
their
it.
toes, yeah. Look at that backdrop as you watch the athletes coming into the arena. Amazing.
Well, Yamazaki, I had a chat with her early on. She'd been off for a couple of years after suffering a serious shoulder injury. Some kind of separated clavicle or something, I think it was. She was trying to explain to me. But she's back. She's fought once since coming back. I think that was in Odivelas in Portugal. And now here she is in the final of a Grand Prix.
Amazing, isn't it, really, when you think about it?
I think she's not, 7th on the list of under 48 kilo category fighters in Japan. But having, had some previous gone over.
Wazari into the
Yeah.
Osakomi. Endo really taking charge of this contest and still hasn't let up at all.
Oh, that's not the bad shoulder.
Not. Lovely technique.
She scored a couple of people with that today, has Endo. Fought really well.
She's had a great performance here today, hasn't she? With Ippon Tsunagi there.
Just not sharp, that maybe a little match rusty. Just missed out there. She goes over again. Lucky not to.
Well, there's no love lost between these two. It's real business out here, isn't it? And feisty wee things.
I think Endo's the number 3 Japanese. So there's that gap in between.
Nice
them.
Morotti Tsunagi. Beautifully done. Yamazaki, you can see with the left hand high onto the collar, trying to control her opponent's right side. Held on a little bit too long, picked up a Shida for that, so she has to be very careful there.
Endo's the number 3 Japanese. Yamazaki's the number 8.
Tanaki is the Funa Tanaki and
current world champion
Kendo.
Tanaki Funa and Kondo.
Oh, goodness, when you look at the lineup of the athletes you've got there, it's quite scary, really, isn't it? Their choice, their problem will be is picking the right person for the Olympic Games, isn't it, really, in Tokyo? They've got so many strong athletes, but it's picking that right one that's going to be capable of competing against the top field throughout the world.
Well, at the 48 kilo category, they've suffered a couple of blowouts, haven't they, with their picks. Fukumi hasn't been able to do it the last couple of times around. Kondo hasn't been able to nail the top spot. And all of a sudden, before you know it, you've gone 3 cycles without a win at 48 kilos. I think it was Alina Dumitru in Beijing.
Oh, nice.
Menezes in London. And Paula Pareto in Argentina. So they've gone 3 cycles already without picking up a gold medal in the under 48 kilo category that they used to rule.
They dominated it for many, many years.
And I think Loretta's quite right. It's choosing the right one, because you've got more than one, so going to end up choosing the right one. Endo leads with a minute 20 odd left to go. Just a single Shido against Yamazaki. She's not out of it yet. She's chasing here a little bit.
She is chasing, but she doesn't seem to be strong enough to follow through with much. She's got that hand that you can see, the left hand on the shoulder, and
yeah, and Endo was really
she's
guilty
just
of
I was surprised
hiding,
that Yamazaki didn't actually get a penalty for that, because as you see, when she grips up, she holds for far too long before engaging in an attack.
I think what they had spotted was that Endo was just standing
Just
with one
pushing
side
out,
and
and just keeping her at bay.
a little bit negative. She'd had a look at the scoreboard, looked at the Wazari and thought, I fancy that.
Yeah. Just playing safe out here and playing a more clever tactical match. She's got her score. She's dominating as far as the grip is concerned and putting in the attack. She seems always the biggest threat out there. The feet were very, very nice. You can see she just clipped the heels there for that Koichigari. Didn't engage too much, but kept the foot back there as Yamazaki came in also for a Koichigari, just sidestepped it.
It's got written all over Endo's face, just do as much as you need to.
That's it. Well, there's a Shido there for dropping.
Ooh.
So it's 19 seconds to go. She's got to be careful she don't make any other silly
You've got
errors
to
like
stand
that.
up there now.
She has to. You see that arm at there is pushed against the ribs, and the referee sees that. He could penalise her for that because it's a block, quite a blatant block as well. Well,
They won't do it now. 3 seconds to go.
well, she
Frustration.
was very silly, really, wasn't she? Because that she could. I don't think anyone would have argued if she picked up the third and final Shido, because that
She'd
hand was
switched
quite
off.
blatant. It was
Yeah.
it was pushed onto the ribs.
With a minute 40 to go, she'd really switched off.
She never played a good tactical game near the end. She played a very dangerous game.
I think one or two of the contests earlier on, well, definitely with Krasnicki, that was a 9-minute contest,
Yeah,
that one.
9.5 minutes was one that she. Sweet little face, though, huh?
Both of
You
them.
would think butter wouldn't melt in their mouth, but
Put them on the mat.
put them on the mat. They're little demons, aren't they?
So gold and silver to Japan. It was Endo Hiromi who ended up taking the gold medal. Okay, we've got, after these highlights, the next weight category. Stay with us. The first of the bronze medal contests in the under 60 kilo category features Lukumi Chukvumiani of Georgia. He's up against Robert Shvidabadze of Russia. It's Chukvumiani in the white judogi, Shvidabadze in blue.
Well, Shivabadze knows he's had the upper hand here of a win under his belt against his opponent. But statistically, they're very, very close in performances throughout, and as far as age and grade, and even down to world ranking. So this is going to be a very interesting match. But I think the Russian, for me, has been a consistent performance throughout. He's had some really good challenges matches, but technically he's been spot on.
Yeah, I just have the feeling with Loretta that Shvidabadze has got a little bit more solidity about him than Chukvumiani. He may be that little bit more unpredictable, the Georgian, but we shall see as we get underway. Mariano dos Santos of Brazil is the referee in the middle. Here's Loretta.
Georgian Chukmuniani, as you can see, the arm round the back at first, seems to struggle a little bit. It's been drawn down to his knees, not really getting his own way here when it comes to controlling with the kumikata at this moment. Still a little bit of a settling process going on between both athletes. Russian with cross grip. Shivabadze, as you can see, that right hand deep onto the belt, which he favours quite a lot, and is very successfully gets that belt grip and draws his opponent's hips onto his in a circling motion, as you can see there. But Chukmuniani coming round the back, looking to get very close indeed with the arm. Almost, the hand almost onto the belt. Both of them seem to opt for the same type of gripping style. Shivabadze dropping down into Niwaza, looking as if he was wanting to experiment down in the Niwaza, but when it actually come down to it, it did very little.
Chukumumiani lost out in the quarter-final to Francisco Garrigos of Spain.
That was a real battle and a half, that one, but there's interesting to see if a score on that. But there you have it. As Sangaku turned there, he's controlling there for the Osakomi. Sangaku switch it, loses a little bit of control at the end. All that work and still perseveres, but the arm, as you can see, has come out there. Chukumumiani trying desperately to get a finish, but it's really no control at all on that arm.
Not surprised that Chukumumiani held Shvirabadze. Not sure if he thought for a moment that Shvirabadze may have submitted. He didn't. Back on the way. Shvirabadze, for his part, lost in the semi-final to his teammate Albert Ogazov. We'll see him in the final.
Ducks underneath there. Some nice bit of work there from the Russian. Piling a lot more pressure with 1 minute and 15 seconds remaining in this contest. Shivabadze, as you can see, head to head, trying to draw in off that lapel grip. Well, it's really an even match here. There's very little to divide these athletes. There's only one Shiro on the board, and that's to the Georgian. But, oh, yes, that was a good attack. That was the strongest so far and the closest of scoring to date. So half a minute remaining. Shivabadze there gets that high collar grip, draws his opponent's head down, makes him look very passive indeed. A little bit out of control though. Needs to just tidy it up a little bit more precise in these actions from the gripping style that he's got. His arms and feet are just not working and coordinating well. We're now into golden score. Well, this has been a real battle between both these athletes. and it's still a difficult one to call. Shivibadze, closest to scoring up till now, seems to have the stronger of grips, and they just
Almost.
almost, but not enough. Comes round, he does favour coming round onto that belt, and it is effective. He's definitely breaking up the balance of his Georgian opponent. Chikviniani takes another Shido, so that's 2. One more would be the Hansokumaki, but I don't think anybody wants to see this match being won on a Hansokumaki, considering the performance that both these athletes have given throughout the day. There's definitely a big throw in one of them.
The temptation for Shivibadze could be to try and close everything down and make it difficult for Chukvimiani to attack, even if the Russian picked up a penalty himself. He knows that Chukvimiani would also collect one, and that would be the end of it. That would be a sorry way to end the contest, but I wouldn't put it past him.
No. Well, he hasn't started that way yet, has he?
No.
Part of me feels that does he realise? Some athletes can be so much in the zone that they don't know what's going on. They just know that there's no score, but tactically they're unaware of going into a tactical mode rather than a throwing. Chikvimiani, as you can see, looking for the shimiwaza, and he did look in trouble there as he tried to draw him off the ground. He didn't look comfortable.
Two minutes of golden score already. Chukvimiani and Shivibadze. Still got the feeling that Shivibadze is the more likely of the two to come up with something.
Yes, totally agree with you on this.
A little Yoko Sutemiwaza, that was quite wide of the mark, but at least he put something in. He's still thinking about it. I'm not sure where it's going to come from the Georgian.
He tries to throw that arm each time he gets caught up, and Shivibadze there really just a bit of a waiting game, isn't he? They're not really have much to offer in the Niwaza, but within that time the time is ticking away. 2 minutes and 50 already in golden score. Almost 7 minutes these athletes have been fighting. Hips through. Well, that was one of the stronger attacks there from the Georgian. Kosota. Well, Chikviniani really has to put in a couple of attacks now. No Uchigari. It's looking a little little bit untidy there, and that's not going to go down well with the referee.
Yeah, as I said earlier, Chukwuemeka can't afford to get dragged into the kind of battle that he's going into now, because there are just so many things that will go against him. He only needs to miss 2 attacks and Svidabadze to put it in, and he'll lose.
Yeah.
So after that big attack, Chukwuemeka's got to come back with an answer.
Kochigari, oh, lovely attack there. Hopefully we'll give him that.
Could be it.
Yes, that could be a score.
Mariano dos Santos has asked the 2 fighters to tidy up their judogi, and the likelihood is
The
that
penalty being awarded in the third and final one to the Georgian. There was a lovely Kochigari there, though, from the Russian. Sadly, he had his arm round the back, so he couldn't get a better leverage on that shoulder. And there you have it.
Yes, an unfortunate end to the contest. Chukwuemeka picking up a 3rd penalty. Robert Svidabadze of Russia walking away with the win. We've got a 2nd bronze medal. No, we've got the final coming up next. We've already had the first of the bronze medal matches, did we not? Oh.
No, we've got one more bronze medal, and then Papinashvili and
so we have got the 2nd of the
Garrigos.
bronze medal contest coming
Georgia
up
and
next.
Spain.
Yeah, okay. Just felt as though we'd had as long.
Well, we had 2 contests, if you can think of that. That went for, 8.5 minutes. So it was like having 2 bronze medal matches.
Right, we have got the 2nd of the bronze medal contests coming up now. Amiran Papinashvili of Georgia faces Francisco Garrigos of Spain. It'll be Papinashvili in the white judogi, Garrigos in blue, and the referee in the middle for this one is Roberta Curlia of Italy. Here's Loretta.
Well, there's been 5 head-to-heads to Papinashvili, so he'll obviously feel silently comfortable and confident coming into this bronze medal match. Papinashvili coming into the field of play, followed just behind Garrigos. They're representing Spain. As you can see, Papinashvili trying to get that right hand deep over the back there, trying to draw his opponent in. Garrigos looking a little bit apprehensive there, very uncomfortable.
Yeah, Papinashvili picked up the penalty just for holding on to that left hand while he was trying to set things up.
He's got a cross grip that he's just holding just that little bit too long. Gagrigo's there with the Sutemi-waza attempt, trying to draw his opponent down into the Niwaza. We've seen a couple of times he's been quite clever in the ground. He's very comfortable when he goes into the Niwaza. But definitely doesn't like that right hand that comes round the back and the cross grip. Oh, Papinashvili almost walked onto that Sianagi. He'll have to be very careful there. Papinashvili taking a second Shido now with 2 minutes and 41 seconds. That's a long time in a contest to be already down 2 Shidos. It was that look to the referee as if to say,
what did I do?
What have I done wrong? What have I done to upset you? And he's played that cross grip is causing him a lot of problems. It's his own doing. Once more, he brings that arm in, he holds onto that arm and he comes round the back. But he's not engaging in an attack. So Papinashvili's got to be careful, the Uchimata. Gagrigas there with 1 Shido now, so which I think was a little bit overdue.
He's got to do the same again here, Papinashvili. If Garrigos gets a grip that he doesn't like and he bails out of it, then Papinashvili's got to put that back on him. Because he definitely is uncomfortable when that grip is taken by Papinashvili.
Well, Gagrigas there again looking for the Niwaza opportunity, trying to look for the arm lock. Yes, oh yes. Turn. Well, we saw something very similar to that before in one of his previous rounds. That he seems to tempt him with that leg, that they want to feel comfortable coming round the back for the Kosota, and he just. It's like he's luring him into a false sense of security and then all of a sudden hitting him with clambering over on the top.
Yeah, he took that over really well and managed to plant Garrigos flat on his back.
Papinashvili sort of looks as if to say, well, I was 2 Shidos down, what was that for? Well, work out your own gripping, that's what he needs to do. It's the gripping style that's causing the problems. But there you see it, once more, it's like he lures him into a false sense of, he has that looseness around the back, he shows the leg, and it seems to be so tempting. It just seems like it's too good to be true, and it is too good to be true.
He wasn't there any longer.
He wasn't there. He waited, but look at it.
He turned so quickly.
He was ready for it.
Yeah.
He set him up. I told you. I did it. He made hard work of it, though. He didn't have it all his own way.
We come now to the final of the under 60 kilo category. Nagayama Ryuju of Japan faces Albert Oguzov of Russia. It'll be Nagayama in the white judogi, Oguzov in blue.
Well, Nagayama came in here as the number 1 seed. He is the top favourite for taking the gold. But for me, the Oguzov is a very strong opponent. He's had a great performance here. And this will be a very interesting match.
The referee in the middle for this one is John Ramekes of the Netherlands. He gets a turn in the middle. Having seen him on the mat yesterday, he was being examined here at the IJF Academy. It was a bit of a tough outing for them. Nagayama takes a little jog into the arena to get himself warmed up, whereas Oguzov, well,
He's just
stroll,
isn't he? He's not going to be exerting any more energy than he needs to. He'll just take it in his stride. But he's been like that all day, but has performed outstandingly.
He's obviously got a habit of blowing hot air onto his hands because it's not needed where we are. It's steaming in Budapest. We're on the way with the final.
Maybe it's to dry the sweaty palms, possibly.
Good point.
Well, Nagayama knows that he's defeated this opponent twice before. Can he make it a third time? Young man Nagayama, 22 years of age, still quite a young lad with some very impressive results under his belt. Oh, Nagayama just getting out of trouble there as he lifts his opponent off the tatami for a mate. Oguzov, as you can see there, with the left hand on the lapel, now switches it to the right, cross gripping. There's various styles of gripping there that are very effective and can cause a few threats there to Nagayama, who at the moment is just trying to just settle with at least one hand on his opponent at this moment. But Oguzov just trying to pip him to the post each time, looking very busy out there and not really allowing his Japanese opponent to settle at all in this gold medal contest. Oops, well, a little bit of a clash there of the accident. Well, there's always going to be little clashes like that, and it's not intentional. Definitely a tough sport played by gentlemen.
Well, Nagayama has caught Oguzov a couple of times on the chin.
Oh, lovely Kosota there. Beautifully executed, controlled nicely down into the Niwaza. Sadly didn't get the score he was hoping for. A minute now, just over a minute and a half remaining in this contest. Quite interesting. There's no score but no penalties either, so both have been very much engaging in this contest. 1 for 1, battling away. Oh, beautiful. Well, there was a show there of the Sianagi turn from Oguzov, and he switched it to the Koichi, just overstretched himself slightly there. Sianagi attempt from Nagayama there was very strong and deep in with that Sianagi. Didn't get the finishing touches to it though. Well, Nagayama really isn't having much luck in actually being able to control on the grips. Everything is off the grip with the ashiwazas. That's the only danger there for Oguzov, is the ashiwazas. There's been 3 attempts there, and both those, every time he's stumbled his opponent down. Oguzov picking up the first Shido now with just over half a minute. Well, the Sianagi, lovely attempt there, beautifully timed, and half a minute straight into the Osakomi, and Oguzov submitting, obviously
chest, or
I think it was a rib there that he most probably hurt, and he was so deep in for the Osakomi, it wasn't going to make any difference. But Ippon there, and with the submission.
Well, that is Nagayama Ryuju's first ever Grand Prix medal.
First ever Grand Prix.
Only because it's his first ever Grand Prix. He's never fought in a Grand Prix before. He normally only does Grand Slams. So
right, yeah, that's right, because he was in Dusseldorf and Ekaterinburg and the Masters.
So
but he medalled in those ones.
In those,
he actually won them.
Exactly, he won them.
And junior world champion.
just send me to the biggies. But if you send me to a Grand Prix, I'll win that as well.
Oh, just send me at least once, so I can say I can get one of those medals as well. But
there you go. Nagayama Ryuju takes the gold medal.
Well, a nice finish to what had been a real battle between both these athletes, but there you have no doubt who the winner was, with the Seoinage straight in to the Osakomi. Beautifully done. Ogazov obviously had a bit of a twist on that Seoinage hurt a rib, and he wasn't going to be straining himself anymore. I think just felt that there was no time to gain anything back from that.
We come now to the awarding ceremony in the under 48 kilo category. The bronze medals go first of all to Distra Krasniki of Kosovo. And to Marusa Stanga of Slovenia. Silver medal goes to Yamazaki Tamami of Japan. Good return after a long layoff, a long injury layoff. The gold medal goes to Endo Hiromi, also from Japan. Endo, with that, takes her third Grand Prix gold medal. Having a good year so far. Two run-outs for her. One in Ekaterinburg at the Grand Slam. She took the gold medal there, and now gold medal in Budapest. And now the national anthem of Japan. Krasniki and Stanga were the bronze medalists. Silver went to Yamazaki and the gold to a beaming smile from Endo. We've got the first of the bronze medal contests coming up in the under 52 kilo category next. That features Chelsea Giles of Great Britain. She's up against Andrea Kitsu of Romania. It'll be Giles in the white judogi, Kitsu in blue.
Well, neither one of them are compete against each other. It's very, very similar. They've got here, though, that Kitsu has the upper hand with the amount of ippons won, 122. A lot of experience under her belt on this world circuit, and will be classed as one of the favourites here for this bronze medal. But Chelsea Giles, young athlete from Great Britain, is growing in confidence each time we see her on this world circuit. She's just really an athlete that's her size as well for this weight category. She's so tall that she can cause a few problems. Very, very slim.
Referee in the middle for this one is Cho Min Sun from the Republic of Korea. There's a look at Chelsea Giles. How old is Chelsea then?
She's just out of the juniors. I think she must be about 22, I think, possibly. She's quite a young athlete. As you can see, she's actually nearly a head taller than her opponent. And those long legs are very dangerous when she can connect. The Romanian there, as you can see, very powerful in structure. Quite an aggressive approach to this contest. Piling on a lot of pressure on the young lady from Great Britain as she advances forward, which means that Giles is backpedaling slightly, needing to settle down. But those long legs come in there. She's got that arm wrapped over. Now she's got the leg in between, a bit of a turnover in the Niwaza. Nice little move when it works. I've seen a couple of times that in various weight categories here today that turnover's been quite effective. Oh, it is a real battle of Kumi counter at the moment, but the Romanian seems to have the upper hand in the first opening minute of this contest so far. Bit of a settling process for Giles. Giles comes round, as you can see, those long legs she needs. She'll get the leverage if she can connect. And she comes back looking for that Uranagi. Just didn't have control of the core. Connects on the sleeve. Giles tries to come over with that long reach that she has. Will be an advantage to her. Kosota attempt there from the Romanian. Hooks in there, the Romanian looks. Oh, and she stumbles backwards, and Giles capitalizes on that, scoring a Wazari, and then goes for the Jujikatami. And there you have it, straight in the transition for Giles, who's superb, scoring upon and takes the bronze medal.
That is a really mature looking finish, in particular because you're up against a competitor of such experience and depth in Andrea Kitsu. That's a really good win for Chelsea Giles.
Well, as you saw with the statistics, the amount of wins Kitsu had coming into this competition. There was 120 wins by a pawn. So for Giles, it's another step forward in the right direction. She'll be absolutely delighted there, along with her coach. And we'll most probably be seeing her again in those positions.
He was saying earlier on that he was so thrilled to be working with her again, because he felt that he had a good relationship with her and he could get the best out of her. So he was glad to be back in the chair for her, and there's the result, I suppose. You know, he's going to claim that, isn't he? Why not? I would.
Well, that was a good bit of good awareness there from Giles. The Romanian, in fairness, she tried to get that lift, but just went in the wrong direction.
Oh dear.
And left her arm open. There was the ultimate mistake, and there was no rescuing it. And as you can see from that angle, superb execution of that Juji. And Jamie Johnson, the coach, I think seemed to be more happy than her.
Heart on your sleeve.
Yeah.
Right, coming up next, the second of the bronze medal contest. Katerina Guika of Canada faces Gilly Cohen of Israel. It's Guika in the white judogi, Cohen in blue, and the referee in the middle for this one is Friedrich Anna Maria of Hungary.
Well, Cohen has the upper hand with one win so far. Friedrich Anna Maria of Hungary, referee that's been on that scene for a long time now. Great referee.
Yeah, went to the Olympic Games last time round.
And Cohen, as you can see, coming in on our screen now, looking very serious and determined.
Well, chance for the first of the medals for the Canadians.
Yes.
All women.
All women.
There are three chances here. This is the first of them. Katerina Guika steps up in the under 52 kilo category. We've got two in the under 57s. Let's see how they get on. Here's Loretta.
That'll be interesting. Yeah, it's definitely a strong team that's showing great potential, but this is one that's had a lot of the limelight, and this is Cohen, who's quite a tough little cookie out here in the under 52s. Done extremely well throughout the world circuit. Good strong team, the Israeli. Guika trying to throw that left hand over the top, connects this time, but Cohen comes over the top to trap it, but this moment in time gets her head caught up, finds herself stumbling down into the Niwaza, and now on the receiving end of the Canadians' Niwaza, which is very skillful indeed. And there you have it. There's the... well, she seemed to just walk into that. It just seems so childlike, didn't it?
That was embarrassing.
There was very little resistance on there.
And no one knows it better than Gilly Cohen, who at the end of it put her hands over her face as if to say, what was I thinking? An
ultimate mistake there.
Yeah.
I don't think she seemed aware of the danger that she was in that Niwaza position. Guika, who takes the bronze medal.
We were harsh on Gilly Cohen for one reason. We don't expect that kind of slip from that quality player.
And that's the thing. I'm shocked.
Yeah,
because it's not a result you would have expected. Well, not handed over as easily as that.
She can't believe it. Absolutely, I can't believe that. She just put her hands and said, "I can't believe I've done that."
She had the leg. That was a massive. Just seemed a floppy arm, and it was a shame really, because it was a build-up that we was expecting a little bit more. And like, it's no disrespect to Cohen, because we just put her on that bit of a pedestal, don't we? Because she is a contender, and she had some wonderful results.
We come now to the final of the under 52 kilo category. Charlene van Snick of Belgium faces Tsunoda Matsumi of Japan. It's van Snick in the white judogi, Tsunoda in blue, and the referee in the middle for this one is Vasily Smolin of Russia.
Well, there's very little to divide these players. As far as I'm concerned, Van Snick she came in here as the number 1 seed, and she's very much been the number 1 athlete performing throughout the stages of this competition. 32 athletes participated in this weight category, and she has done extremely well to get herself. But Tsunoda has had a couple of challenges. She's been pushed, but still been what we would expect as the number 2 seed and world silver medalist. Someone that you cannot write off for the gold medal.
Japan's number 3. Incredible what numbers they've got.
Yeah. Well, it's great to have that sort of depth, and you wouldn't mind having that warrior of selections, would you, when you've got such depth of quality?
Well, the good news for Van Snick is, unlike a few of the other Japanese who tend to lose only to other Japanese, maybe, a Korean might sneak in there, or, Tsunoda has lost to Krasnicki, who now fights down at 48. Amandine Bouchard, who's moved up from 48 to 52. Krasnicki twice, actually. Jessica Pereira of Brazil as well. Bouchard again. Kelmendi, she's got a bit of a track record there of her losses being to Europeans. And then throw in
sort of style,
Pereira.
isn't it?
Yeah. So you may be right here, Loretta. This could be up Van Snick Street.
Well, she really needs to get a little bit of control with the grips. Tsunoda is dominating the pace of this contest up until now, really, with the gripping style. She seems to have taken a little bit of onus on this match. Now finds herself on the receiving end of some niwaza. Doesn't really threaten too much, but it's not always the most comfortable positions to be in. And as we've already seen, these are where some of the most silliest errors have been made, isn't it, in the niwaza? We've seen Deguchi there as she dropped for a Cianagi, and then lifted her head up and got taken off. So
the flip side of the number of times that Tsunoda has lost to Europeans is how many times has Van Snick lost to Japanese, and she's not bad. It's the number of times that she's won against them. It's 11 against and 8 in her favour. So it's not that bad, a difference.
It's a good balance.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good for the number of times that she's been up against them.
That's a lovely there.
Chance here.
Oh, that's the arm lock coming out. Well, that was a good little good manoeuvre there as she countered, took back Tsunoda, took her off balance, and then tried to capitalise in the niwaza. Well, that would have shaken her up a little bit. That would have make her a little bit more apprehensive as she engaged the next time, and showed a little bit of a vulnerable side and her Achilles heel, which is obviously to the rear and into the niwaza. Van Snick stepping across to what looked to be an attempt of the Seotoshi. Now looks for the niwaza once again. Van Snick, she looks comfortable down there.
Well, I get the feeling that it's once bitten, twice shy from Tsunoda, because how many times are you going to get caught in niwaza? It's a rare occurrence if you've got a good defence, but the fact that she had her arm out there has made her think, well, hang on a minute, this girl might be actually useful on the ground. I might now not engage as much. That could be a mistake. You want to use all, every aspect of your game, and if you close down one area,
that was You could see what she was attempting there, but left it far too loose. And
bit untidy, wasn't it?
That was really untidy, and it was very dangerous as well. But a second Judo now, but this time it goes to Sonoda. Lovely Tomonagi there from Sonoda. Sadly didn't get the score that she was hoping for.
Vansnick again looking comfortable.
Very close, yeah.
Not bothered, you know, in the middle of the mat, not looking to start escaping or anything. She's also got the feeling that on the ground she can mix it with
I think so as well. I think she's very clever in the Niwaza. Sonoda stepping across there, looking for the Sodi. Very, very low. Now tries to come past those legs, the defence there, but Vansnick again looking quite comfortable down in the ground, not phased at all by the transition there. Vansnick there, as you can see, with the right hand on the lapel, trying to control her opponent. An attempt of a Sutemi Waza from Sonoda.
It's more about bringing her to engage her on the ground, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
Because it's so slow, it's not going to surprise.
The good thing about
Vansnick.
with the sort of Japanese in general, they're very, very good with using their feet, whether it's with the ashiwazas or whether it's at the transition of the rotation. They use their feet like another set of hands. They might as well have been just gripping the ankles and turning them over. And so that they are, even though it's slow, they are extremely dangerous in how they can maneuver.
Golden score then.
Well, there's no score at the moment, but a Judo apiece as they enter into the golden score. Again, Sonoda draws in with the Sutemi Waza, bringing her opponent down in between her legs. Oh, yes! What a lovely attack there. The Kochi, again, the feet like another set of hands, cupped the ankle and just directed it down for a pon. Beautifully executed. Nice finish.
No doubt what we're going to see on the highlights reel.
And a little bit of a headbutt for one another. As
That's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
That is, oh. Take that. It was the polite shake of hands and bow and the clash of heads.
She's still laughing.
Kochigari, beautifully done, and the control with the upper body, that was so nice.
It just sticks, doesn't it?
It is, it's like a sticky foot.
Yeah.
She turns her foot, look at the base of her foot, underneath, she turns it, curls the foot around the heel. Beautifully executed, and that left hand pushing down on her right shoulder, spreading her opponent so she goes flat on her back. Beautifully done. And here we have the head.
This is after the headbutt.
This was after it. They couldn't believe they head butted each other.
Right, we come now to the awarding ceremony for the men in the under 60 kilo category. First of the bronze medals goes to Amiran Papinashvili of Georgia. And alongside him, collecting his bronze medal, is Robert Shvidobadze of Russia. Silver medal goes to Albert Oguzov of Russia. The gold medal goes to Nagayama Ryuju of Japan. The Japanese having a much better time of it here in Hungary than they did in Zagreb.
No, they didn't have a good innings, but
a few of them got tumbled, but not here. They're 3 for 3 now. 48, 52, 60. Oh. And now the national anthem of Japan. Well, 2 more weight categories to bring to you. The under 66 kilo category, and we'll follow that with the under 57 kilo category. There are the medal winners, Papinashvili and Shvirabadze. Oguzov picked up the silver. It was Nagayama to walk away with the gold medal. We've got the first of the bronze medal contests in the under 66 kilo category coming up next. Denis Viru of Moldova faces Dovdon Altansuk of Mongolia. It's Viru in the white judogi, Dovdon in blue.
Well, as you can see, a head-to-head, Viru being on the upper hand with this, 22 to 30 years of age, so Viru slightly younger than his opponents, but when you see what wins by a point, 33 to 37, so very little in it, just a slight little bit more maturity with Dovdon from Mongolia, and Fando Arthur of the referee, as you see, that will be refereeing this bronze medal match. This Moldovan, for me, has been very impressive throughout the day. Quite an exciting athlete to watch. Last time I saw Antalya, where he took the silver medal, and that was a good weekend for him there. Straight away starts off very aggressively, taking full control in this contest. Certainly was an attempt there for Dovdon, Mongolian, trying to settle into this contest. Possibly a way to calm his opponent down. It's the high collar grip, drawing Veru down, trying to slow him quite considerably to what we've seen in the opening seconds of the contest. Dovdon there, high collar grip, turning the shoulder into him, pressing his opponent down into the ground and trying to look for a transition there, but Veru defending quite nicely there, not fazed by his opponent's actions. Although definitely Dovdon looks the mature of the two physically. He's quite strong in the gripping style, attempt down into the niwaza.
Coach screamed out Wazari there.
Oh, Wazari, did he? I didn't actually hear that.
A little bit speculative there, I think. Single Shido against the Moldovan. He's a useful looking youngster, is Veru.
He's 22 years of age. It's young, isn't it?
Yeah.
And just out of the juniors. He's battling away against a very powerful Mongolian, though. He's seems to have now settled into this contest at the opening seconds. Well, they kind of came out very fast and furious. Looked as if he was going to be able to sustain that level, but obviously not. The power and strength, along with that maturity, physical maturity of the Mongolians, is starting to show now in this contest. 1 minute 47 seconds remaining. Veru trying desperately to get back in play of this contest and take a little bit of onus of the match. Is starting to struggle and weaken slightly against the Mongolian. Once more the Mongolian takes that right hand high on the collar. Oh yes! Beautifully done. The Mongolian just took his eye off the boy. He threw that arm over onto the shoulder, really didn't do too much to enter into attack, left himself wide open and vulnerable there, and Veru capitalised on it with that Osotogari.
That was a class finish.
Beautifully
really was.
finished. He never just threw him, he planted him into the mat and buried him.
And one of the things that we were saying earlier on about commitment and being a little bit tentative from some of the players and everything, there was absolutely no holding back there. He really went for it.
Oh, that was sensational.
And the first thing that you have to do when you get that kind of attack is to stop it.
Yes.
But he was just too powerful.
And up until then, the first opening, he looked so strong and positive. And then the power and the experience started to come out of Dovdon, and it looked like he wasn't going to really get much more opportunities from that. And it looked like it was going all horribly wrong for him. But Veru, his performance throughout the day has been phenomenal. He's been an amazing athlete and has been quite an exciting athlete to watch. But what he did there, the maturity, classic Osotogari, the high collar grip, stepped in, took that step closer, showed and then showed it again. It was a double stab at it. He showed the hip, got a reaction from Dovdon and then hit him with it. It was like I'm saying, I'll try it, no, I'm happy. I'll try it, I'll not, no, I'm going to go for it. He really tested the water on that one, and he took the right action.
Yeah, he feinted him into resisting back.
Yes.
He'd shown him the little side movement. He thought, no, I'm not going to go there, and I'm going to go there again. And then he really did go back. That was when he launched the Osoto, yeah. Well done. He did that well.
That was beautiful.
Set him up well.
He really did. That was some nice bit of judo. A lovely classical Osotogari.
We come to the second of the bronze medal contests now. Bogdan Iadov of Ukraine faces Yarin Meneged of Israel. It'll be Iadov in the white judogi, Meneged in blue.
Iadov there, 2 wins under his belt against this opponent. World ranked 75 to 88. Again, very similar in the world ranking status and evenly matched on performance here today. This is going to be a very interesting match and a real battle between both these athletes. It's going to be a hard one. Menegade, for me, has been a little bit sharper. His technique has been spot on. He comes into this arena, as you can see, very focused indeed there.
Well, here they come. Second of bronze medal contest. The man in the middle for this one is Orlando Cruz of the Dominican Republic. Here's Loretta.
Straight away is a battle to try and get the more controlling grip. Davidov there, as you can see, tried on that lapel. Oh, Kochigaki there, nicely executed. Pulls in and hooks right through, but didn't just get in deep enough. He just ran out of the driving leg at the end, overstretched himself, but
what have they seen that they want to have another look at?
It was the elbow for me that was the little bit of the factor. Was that what was stopping him going directly onto his back? He planted him directly onto the bottom, but here we have it. Overstretched himself, but that continuous movement, but it was that elbow that just stopped him from landing, and that's where they've called that Wazari. I think that is a good call there.
So Iadov leads by Wazari with a little over 3 minutes left to go.
Yeah, well, it's a long time out there when you've got an Israeli that's got a mission now to come back at you. He's got nothing to lose. He's got it all to gain. He's trailing now, Wazari. The Israeli now has got some real work to do. And as we know with the Israelis, they're very strong and fit athletes that they can give 100% right through, even into the golden score. So there's no doubt in my mind the condition that this Israeli athlete's in, that he can battle his way back into this contest.
Time's on his side. Just broke down at the end there, needed to keep contact and continue pushing to get the turn, but didn't happen.
There you have it, a bit just high up onto the shoulder. When he rotated, it started to go round to the head, and then that knocked his own balance off, so he lost at that control right at the earlier stages of entry there. The Ukraine, as you can see, controlling or trying desperately to control that right sleeve.
It's going to catch him with that.
The Sienagi,
if he's not careful. Second time that he's been in close.
There's a couple of times there, yeah, and he's had that lift. He's just not had the correct control in the upper body. Throws that arm over the top.
If he gets it right,
Iadov
is going to fly.
Well, he's getting in.
Slightly tired looking second effort there, but it could be that the hands were tied up.
The Avadova has really got... Oh, what's happened? Or was that Mate?
He'd already called Mate, yeah. Still time.
Attempting a sodi there. You could see he's got that sleeve. Opts to try and come under there. The Sianagi, the hips are in. Oh, so well, there was a lovely counter. Wazari, for a second Wazari Iseti upon. So Yavidov takes the second bronze medal for Ukraine.
Well, Bogdan Iadov just proving that little bit too strong for Yarin Meneged. Nice attacking from the Israeli, however. Put up a good effort, but in the end getting caught.
Now this is a final coming up that I'm really looking forward to.
Indeed, it's the final of the under 66 kilo category. Mohamed Abdelmagoud of Egypt faces Tagawa Kenzo of Japan. It'll be Abdelmagoud in the white judogi, Tagawa in blue.
And there's some highlights of that last bronze medal. Beautifully executed there, that came round. Well, no head-to-heads here, as you can see. 24 to 21 years of age. Tagawa slightly younger than his opponent. World ranking again, they're not miles apart, and even down to wins by a pawn. Well, you really couldn't tear them apart really here, but based on results and who has battled through from possibly the tougher half, well, for me, has got to be the surprise, and the one that was under the radar for us when we were looking at this draw of 61 judokas was Abdelmagoud of Egypt.
The referee in the middle for this one is Frank Dirch of Germany. Yeah, I think only Mrs. Abdelmagoud would have picked him this morning. His mum would have said, yeah, that's my boy, maybe the coach.
Well, what a turnaround this man had when it came to the second round. Was it? No, the third round when he defeated the number one seed coming into this competition, Zantaraya. And when I say defeated, he demolished him, didn't he, in that match? He really did. An exciting athlete indeed, and I'm quite sure that he'll give a little bit more excitement here in this gold medal contest.
I think even the coach, if you'd asked him, he would have said, well, you know, I hope he does well, but I can't see him winning it. If he was going to be
Not
honest.
With the lineup, when you saw who was entered in this competition here, 61, there was a handful of athletes that you would have said were put right up in front.
Oh, he's ducked his head underneath there.
Well, it's that.
Tagawa,
Yeah.
it's the pressure already.
Well, he's already. Well, if it's to go on what he's seen today, I'm not surprised. That's enough to put the fear of anybody to watch the performance of this Egyptian. Abdelmagoud, as you can see, that right hand high in the collar. He favours this position. He's very, very strong. He's a real gutsy performer. Tagawa looking slightly apprehensive as he engaged there, but the Koji Gaki there, Ippon, left himself a little bit too vulnerable there. The leg was opened.
Not the first time that we've seen that used today
Yeah.
by Tagawa, but beautifully executed there.
Abdelmogawa, for me, he was one of these athletes that could throw big, but he also could leave himself wide open to being caught, and Tagawa just shows how vulnerable he really was, and scores Ippon and taking the gold medal home to Japan.
I think it's the nature of the execution of that technique as well. You expect some kind of resistance at some stage, because you're going to be resisting what you think is the first attack, or you're going to be reacting to the second attack return. There was none. There was
no reaction at all. He was still going forward.
And for me, this is that signal that they are so far off the pace as far as regular competition, the Egyptians, that they've suffered a little bit there. Now, his sheer strength, look.
Well, when you actually look him, he's engaging, he's coming forward, the knees are slightly bent. There's no possibility of him reacting forward or back. He's just left himself wide open to go into the rear. And when he got that pull to open him up, to move him forward, there was very little resistance on it. And it just made it so easy and fluent, the entry.
We've got the awarding ceremony for the women in the under 52 kilo category coming up now. And the first of the bronze medals goes to Ekaterina Guika of Canada. Second of the bronze medals goes to Chelsea Giles of Great Britain. Silver medal goes to Charlene van Snick of Belgium. The gold medal goes to Sonoda Natsumi of Japan. Last time she fought here, she picked up the silver medal. That was at the World Championships last year. Comes back to the same stadium and goes one better and picks up the gold. But I can imagine she'd like to reverse those two. Now the national anthem of Japan. Guika and Giles were the bronze medalists. Van Snick took the silver, but it was Sonoda who took the gold. Happy times.
Oh, great picture there.
Yep. Right, we've got one more weight category to bring you now. It is the under 57 kilo category, and the first of the bronze medal contests features Jessica Klimke of Canada. She's up against Karakash Hedvig of Hungary. It'll be Klimke in the white judogi, Karakash in blue. Here's Loretta.
Well, as you can see, no head-to-head at the age, slightly different, 7 years of maturity for Karakash. of Hungary. She's a favourite here for this crowd that will be desperately wanting to see that young lady on the podium here today. She's had a great performance, but this is going to be a tough match between both these athletes. Klimke, for me, is an experienced athlete, knowing full well that she's capable of taking this bronze medal, and based on her performance has been so close to even getting into the final.
Yeah, lots of things to talk about this weight category, these two athletes as well, as we are about to get underway. And the referee in the middle for this one is Vyacheslav Pereteko of Uzbekistan. There is Jessica Klimke, and there is Karakash. The Hungarians will be desperate to take the medal here. Tall order though, because Klimke's fought well.
Yeah, she's done very well here, and definitely an experienced athlete that just seems to be flourishing from every event that we see her. Now that she enters, she's obviously got a teammate that'll be coming up shortly after this match. Deguchi from Canada also will be battling away for the bronze. They were on the podium in Zagreb as first and second. Will they go on the podium once more as bronze medalists representing Canada? Well, it's all down to this first match on how it's all going to pan out for them.
Guika's kicked it off nicely for him with a medal in the under 52 kilo category.
Yes, well, that's one of the first sort of successes, hopefully to go their way. But Karakash, obviously home favourite, nice judo players, got some lovely skills here, and has not really looked too challenged on her way through the rounds, and was only had a stumbling block against Silva, the Olympic champion, in the semi-final. So that was where she fell short of guaranteeing a medal here.
Well, as is quite often the case with opponents against Klimke, they pick up a passivity penalty, not necessarily because they have been that passive, but just because she gives the appearance of being that busy. Got to be careful on the ground with Karakash. There's her favourite turnover.
Well, there you have it. She's very strong, and can she execute it from that angle though? Well, she's working on it, there's no doubt about it. But it looks a very weird angle to be in. As you can see, she's not going to get much.
Yep.
Oh! Well, the mistake there from Klimke, she left the leg slide away. It was the only thing that was stopping it from getting the angle.
Once that leg goes, that's your last line of protection.
Well, that's what she needed, was to use the core to bridge up to get the leverage on the elbow. That leg that was lying on the top was stopping her from actually getting the leverage, the little inch that she needed more to execute and get the win. But for the home crowd, it's an absolute delight for them to see their first bronze medal here of the day.
Karakash Hedvig of Hungary gives the home fans something to cheer about.
It was just that leg. If she'd kept that leg, she couldn't have got that little extra leverage that she needed. And as you can see, the leg over the top was causing the problem. She wanted to extend the core, she wanted to push it up, but the leg going back gave her that opening.
Yeah. She's shown some excellent near-waza.
Oh, she's been superb there. Near-waza has been outstanding.
No surprise from Caracas. She's well known for that, but it was something that she had to fall back on today and say, hey, you need to help me out here. And her near-waza did. Right, we've got the second of the bronze medal contests coming up now. Krista Deguchi of Canada faces Udaka Nae of Japan. It's Deguchi in the white judogi, Udaka in blue.
Well, as you can see by age, Udaka, 33 years of age, 11 years senior to her opponent. There's a lot of maturity there. She's had a great innings. But Deguchi, for me, she's a consistent athlete and has had some wonderful performances here on her run up to this bronze medal match.
Referee in the middle for this one is Friedrich Caitlin from Hungary. We saw the sister earlier on, didn't we?
Yep, and there's Deguchi coming into Asinas along with Udaka.
Right, now there's a bit of previous between this pair. I'm not going to go into it too much, but it has to do with Deguchi having come from Japan and done all her judo in Japan and gone up against Udaka on many occasions. There we go.
Well, we know Deguchi, she has lovely ashiwazas as well. This is going to be a very even match as far as technical expertise, and both very, very dangerous in the way they use their feet. And the newaza is quite clever as well. So will it be the maturity of Udaka, the seniority, that's going to give her that edge in this bronze medal contest?
Gripping penalty there picked up by Udaka, and despite the fact that she's the more senior and got the experience, she was shown a little bit of immaturity there by picking up that penalty.
And it's those small percentages you don't really want to start giving away at such early stage of a contest. Deguchi, she stepped across what looked to be the Osotogari, but taking it off to an angle there. Looked quite strong.
There's a second.
And there's the second one. Well, this is a big surprise.
I told you
Surprise.
she was pushing Yahima Ramirez for the Shido Queen.
Yes, yeah.
crown. And
yeah, well, Udaka there, as you can see, looking for that Osotogari. She stepped in but lost the upper body control, lost that grip on the right side. Ouchigari attempt there from Deguchi. And a very poor drop there. And it's those small points that she cannot afford to now make those mistakes, because two Shidos, one more, is a result of a Hansokimaki and throwing away this bronze medal. Nicely executed. Deguchi did extremely well to get off that. Nice turnover, wraps the legs over, now goes back, desperately to trying to take over the other side. But there you have it, was in deep. Deguchi did very, very well to be able to spin out of that. So halfway through this contest, Udaka trying to throw that right arm over the top. Doesn't seem to connect. Deguchi controlling that sleeve now quite nicely, but has to follow it through with an attack.
You can see where Deguchi's going here.
Yes. She's got the sleeve. She's controlling that sleeve now. She needs to get the other hand on. She's left herself a little bit vulnerable, especially with that Osotogari. Oh, there you have it. Hooking in with the Ouchigari. Something we've seen so many times in so many contests. That Ouchigari never seems to let her down. And a big sigh of relief.
For several reasons there. Krista Deguchi delighted with that. Respectful in the end, said a little, thank you. But she's medalled again. It's the third tournament in a row where she's come up with a dig deep performance. Okay, she hasn't hit the top of the podium, but she's on there again.
And the big yawn, as you see, another big yawn. They like the yawning, these two. Opens up the airways and gets rid of some of the facial tension, but there you have it. Beautifully done. She came through, tucked under the armpit, close to the belt, hooked in with the Ouchigari and planted her square on her back.
Nice execution.
Beautifully done. Great drive. Almost headbutt in the chest. Oh, nice.
Well, we come now to the final of the under 57 kilo category. Teresa Stoll of Germany faces Rafaela Silva of Brazil. It'll be Stoll in the white judogi, Silva in blue, and the referee in the middle for this one is Oliver De Roses of France. Here's Loretta.
Well, you have Silva, who on paper, Olympic champion, world champion, and the list goes on. She's a phenomenal lady that has just oozed with confidence throughout this tournament, but someone that has, for me, started to grow in confidence and has been a contender in quite a few of the World Circuit tournaments this year is Teresa Stoll from Germany. And for me, is possibly, based on today's performance, was probably the stronger contender for the gold. But you can never write off Silva. Her Niwaza is phenomenal, but with Stoll she's a bit more of an all-rounder. Tachiwaza's been spot on, very sharp, and her Niwaza is also a transition into ground has been brilliant.
Well, if Teresa Stoll takes this, I would be bold enough to say that it will be the best day of her judo career, because she's number one seed. She's already defeated Udaka Nae in the semi-final, the former world champion, and now she's got the Olympic champion in front of the current Olympic champion. She does this, best day of her judo career, I'm sure.
Well, the thing is, she's dangerous. She's got good footwork. She has that Ouchigari Uchimata. She's upright. She's very strong with that controlling right sleeve that you can see right now. The right hand on the lapel, controlling Silva's left side. But we can't take away the experience and that gold back patch that we can see right now on our screens that just says it all about Silva, that she is capable of winning big. And you can never write off an opponent so strong.
She's never lost to a Brazilian before. Mind you, she's never fought this Silva.
No, that's the thing.
She fought Camilla Silva.
This is a very special lady indeed. That seems to, even on a bad day, seems to be able to dig deep and get a result. Well, Stoll is already now with 3 minutes still remaining in this contest, up 2 Shidos. It's not a good position to be in. And really what you're looking for is that Stoll becomes a bit more gutsier out here and tends to be much more braver. She's played a little bit of a plain safe game here, and there's really, she's got very little to lose. She's got all to gain, the experience. And if she loses against someone, well, it's been an Olympic champion she lost against. So for me, it's about having the guts and determination to get through and take this match, not steal it.
You see, Silva wants to play around with the grips.
Yeah, and she can.
Let her. Stoll can't afford that because she's already picked up 2 penalties.
Yeah,
she's got to get to grips with her.
She needs this. She needs to start fighting in here. Silva will be quite happy to tactically keep that arm around the back, just controlling under the armpit and that shoulder blade.
Wait for the counter punch.
And if it's a 50-50, neither one of them doing anything, well, she gets a second penalty and Stoll gets a third. And but here's the Niwaza. And this is where Stoll can be very, very clever. Not on this occasion, though. She gets herself a little bit wrapped up too much here.
And they saw what we were talking about. She's just hanging back a little bit and allowing the possibility that both of them will pick up a penalty.
That's a high collar grip there for Stoll. She's got that grip. Now, can she use it? She's got the Ouchigari. You just want her to be really gutsy and go for it. Be brave.
Or the Kosoto.
The Kosoto as well. She showed it there, but she didn't commit. The Uchimata she's also got.
Go now.
But
now.
She feels that there's a threat, and there's the take back.
She's waiting for the and she said it.
That's it. Was the take back? Was the counter? But she just left it too long. She should have attacked it right at the beginning and gave a little chance to react. But she was setting it up.
Yeah, she was just.
You could read that. It was like, here's the next chapter of what I'm about to do, and this is where maturity and experience now starts to come into play. Silva has got a lot of experience. She's got a lot of exposure. She's Olympic champion, world champion. This is somebody, well, Silverman. For me, she's now going to ooze the confidence based on what she's got on paper. And Stoll, for me, she just needs to go out and be really gutsy and put on a great performance and it be all or nothing. She's got nothing to lose. She's got 1 minute. 1 minute whether she can either stay at stalemate and lose and go and be silver medalist and be happy with it, or she can say, well, I gave it all and I just got caught for 10. Doesn't matter. Or I could have actually thrown for 10. So you really do want...
Silva's also got to be careful not to
go
into a shell.
That's it. And if Stoll puts the pressure on, she's got nothing to lose. She's got 46 seconds. Now, for me, if I was her coach, I'd be screaming at her to just go for it. Give her it to her big style. Be really aggressive in her approach. Change the pace. At the moment, she's allowing Silva to be comfortable. And she's got a grip. Go for it. Just attack. Keep putting the pressure on. The more she defends, the less chance she's got of actually being countered. And she's looking for the big one, but
no, she turns her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, excellent. Ippon. Well, I'm glad that worked out that way because it was a gutsy performance, and that's what we wanted to see. Just go for it, and she did. They're going to downgrade it to a Wazari because I don't think it was completely on the back. But here we have, she came over the, I don't know. Put this way, I'm just glad I'm not refereeing.
Oh no, okay, there's not enough of the upper part of the back.
Enough control.
No, I think it's a score. I think it will be Wazari.
Yeah. Right, well, let's see what happens.
And you want to keep waiting and hanging on for the counter. That's what happens sometimes.
That's what happens.
Yeah. Paid the price. She worked the first time for her.
Right, can she? Well.
And now she's got it, yes. You get caught twice.
Hey. Well, there you have it. Silver, I was delighted to see Stoll come back.
Yeah, because it gave us a contest.
She came back and she had a go. She put the gutsy performance in, which you can't take that away from her. She's got beat by an Olympic champion. Well, do you know what? She's gained a lot of experience there. We'll see Teresa Stoll again and again and again, and she will just better. She will learn from these experiences.
But Silva is good at what she does. She
She's
can take
brilliant.
techniques over.
Yes.
She took her over the first time. Second time, Stoll was able to execute a technique. But, you know, what would you say? Not to try it because you've been caught once, or try it because you threw her once? Tricky one. She's good at what she does. That's why she's Olympic champion. Well, we've got the awarding ceremony for the men in the under 66 kilo category coming up. Then after that, we'll have some highlights. Then we'll have the awarding ceremony for the women in the under 57 kilo category. So stay with us for all of that.
And I just love the Brazilian coach. She's so
she's
dynamic.
Full on.
So passionate. The passion that oozes through that woman is amazing. Look at that face. She's actually...
She lives it, every minute of it.
Look at it, she's actually...
That's when she got caught. That's the one where Silva got thrown.
She is just amazing. I love her to bits. You can't fault her passion.
And that's where Stoll goes over for a second time.
Well, full credit to Silva. That maturity came through at the end. You could never write her off. But for Stoll, brilliant performance. But there's the coach. Love it. Absolutely love it. The passion.
Come now to the awarding ceremony for the men in the under 66 kilo category. And the first of the bronze medals goes to Bogdan Iyadov of Ukraine. There's a bronze medal too for Denis Viru of Moldova. Silver medal goes to Mohamed Abdelmagoud of Egypt. And the gold medal goes to Tagawa Kenzo of Japan. Tagawa came up with possibly the best throw in the finals.
Yeah, that was...
That Koji Makikomi.
Koji Higari was lovely.
Yeah.
But then the throws that we've seen in this final block have been the Ojigari from Deguchi.
Yeah, that was hit a level.
Oh, that was just amazing.
Yeah, that was good. It's been good. It's been a good day of judo.
Yes.
Now, the national anthem of Japan. Right, we'll have a look at this family picture, as they call it, with the two bronze medalists, Yarov and Viru. We had Abdelmagoud as the silver medalist and Tagawa as the gold medalist. After this photograph, we're going to have a little bit of a highlights package for you, and then we'll come back with the awarding ceremony for the women in the under 57 kilo category. Come now to the awarding ceremony for the women in the under 57 kilo category. The first of the bronze medals goes to Krista Deguchi of Canada. Bronze medal for Karakash Hedvig of Hungary. Silver medal goes to Theresa Stoll of Germany. The gold medal goes to Rafaela Silva of Brazil. Well, Japan ended the day on the top of the medal table with 4 gold medals. Brazil were the only country to get in there and stop them from taking a clean sweep. They took the other gold medal on offer today. There'll be more gold medals on offer over the next 2 days of competition here at the Pap Laszlo Arena in Budapest. We'll be back here at 9:30 tomorrow, but from Loretta Cusack-Doyle and myself, it's bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Leave you with the national anthem of Brazil.
So, dear friends, this is the end of the first day of Budapest Grand-Prix 2018 Hungary. Congratulations to all athletes, especially all the medalists. Dear friends, thank you very much for being with us the whole day today. We're waiting for you for tomorrow for the second day, and the preliminaries for the second day will start from 9:30 a.m.